Hi everyone, my name's Robb. I'm the pastor of two congregations, Blenheim Reformed Presbyterian Church and Ballylane Reformed Presbyterian Church, both of which are situated just outside Market Hill. And I've been asked to give a little devotional talk on the sparrow, one of the birds of Scripture. The sparrow is the common name for about 140 species of this particular type of bird that's found all over the world. It's native to most of Europe, the Mediterranean, and much of Asia. But it was introduced also to North and South America, Australia, and Africa. And that being the case, the sparrow is actually the most widely distributed bird in the world. They usually measure around 4 to 8 inches and weigh only on average about 1 ounce. Like many birds, they are both hunted and they also hunt. Their main diet is seeds, but they do eat insects and they feed those insects to their young in order to strengthen them. One of the things I learned that I didn't know about a sparrow was that they can swim, and they use this ability often to escape predators. The female of the species, of course, lays the eggs, and the incubation period is only 12 to 15 days. And then the little chicks can leave the nest after about 15 days. The lifespan is fascinating. In the wild, a sparrow can live 4 to 5 years. The oldest known sparrow in the wild lived 19 years and 9 months after it was ringed. In captivity, a sparrow can live 12 to 14 years, and the oldest recorded sparrow living in captivity was 23 years. A sparrow rarely moves more than 1.2 miles from where it is born. It mates for life, it's monogamous, and the nest of the sparrow is built initially by the male, but then the female, if she fancies joining up with that male sparrow, will come along and will help with the building of the nest. And the nest is usually built in cavities in stone or brickwork or in the beams of houses. In Psalm 84, the psalmist refers to the sparrow. He says, "Even the sparrow finds a home, and the swallow a nest for herself, where she may lay her young. At your altars, O Lord of hosts, blessed are those who dwell in your house." And it's clear from the opening 4 verses of this psalm, in which the sparrow is referred to, that the psalmist, the writer, is rejoicing in the wonderful privilege that he has of being able to go to the temple and join with God's people in worship. Now, most Israelites back in biblical times, those that lived outside of Jerusalem, they really only attended the temple worship a handful of times a year. There were the 3 big festivals every year to which all the Israelites had to go. And then perhaps they would go a couple of other times on personal visits to offer personal sacrifices. And it was a joy for a truly godly Israelite to come to Jerusalem and to worship God. The opening verses of this psalm express the delight and the joy that these worshippers experienced. "How lovely is your dwelling place, O Lord of hosts, to me. The tabernacles of thy grace, how pleasant, Lord, they be." One of the things that the careful observer coming to the temple would have noticed would have been the little sparrows that were flying all around the temple area and its precincts. Many sparrows built their nests in the stones and the wooden beams of the temple. The psalmist thinks of them being there day and night, every day. And he thinks about that, and he wishes that he, like the sparrow, could spend much time in the temple where God was being worshipped. So the temple sparrow in Psalm 84 speaks to us of going to worship God. And it should be something that we look forward to, something that we delight to do, something that should be part of our regular routine. Isn't it a sad reflection on our society that there are so few people, so few families that worship God every Lord's Day? There are many churches like my own where the empty pews outnumber the pews in which people are sitting. Many have simply given up on worship altogether. Others only go to worship now and again when they feel like it. And then there's others, of course, who only go at maybe Christmas or Easter, or if it's a wedding or whatever. But those who are truly God's people, those who have been redeemed by the blood of Christ, should not see worship as a duty to be performed, but rather as something that is a delight to do, something to look forward to with anticipation each week. And if there are 2 worship services on the Lord's Day, then that should thrill them. And they should be so thankful to be able to end the Lord's Day with worship as they began it with worship. I suppose, thinking of the sparrow and it being continually there in the temple of God where worship is offered, the sparrow speaks to us and it says, should you not be where God is being worshipped? And if you haven't been worshipping God, you should be. He's your maker. He's your provider. He's the one who preserves you and has your life in his hands. God calls us to worship him as our God. And it's a wonderful thing to look forward with anticipation and joy to worshipping God. I hope you do. And I hope as you begin the day worshipping God on the Lord's Day, so too you end it worshipping God, going to be with God's people as the day comes to a close at your evening service of worship. And if you have no evening service of worship, you'll find there is a congregation somewhere close to you that has one. The lessons from the sparrow, delighting in worshipping God. Every blessing.